Most people in life are trying to figure out how do I make a living on my own accord. Only a foolish person tries to make a living stealing from another person's creative house. The reason we say that is because in the end the truth always will come out. You will end up in jail, you will end up in prison, or you will end up in hell with the Lord. You see, the truth of theft is always a one-way street, a one-sided view of entitlement. It's I'm entitled to take what I like in the night because I wanna, just like a child of age 4. I want it and I want it now. Isn't that what women do? Isn't that what men do? Isn't that what people of character or Christ do? They whine themselves into thinking they have rights to other people's property, priceless possessions, and personal gifts from other people to them. In life, I was gifted many things through my relationships of living in Japan. Some of my most precious things that I own came from that experience. Other things, like a Netscape piece that was in my bag with me before I went to jail, is now gone. The liars of the force stole all my property, all my legal documentation, my bank account cards, my social security cards, and even histories of when I visited certain places. They took my journal, they took my little pocket photo album that I kept over my chest with the people that I love most in it, and they ruined my right to privacy because somehow my birth family learned I was in jail. I never told them a damn thing, and I didn't have to explain to them where I was. Now, my mother, of her late years, was kind and did allow me about $30 to spend over the course of the 3 months that I was there in order to provide myself occasionally some envelopes and stamps. With those envelopes and stamps, I wrote to book ministries to request copies of books for the jail. We needed better opportunities than one author to read about God's house, to be open to different ideas, and one author who's already passed into spirit, his legacy of his work, Derek Prince, was able to come to our jail because I wrote the letter based on permission from a pastor. I don't know how many other of my letters made it through the mail system with the mailman, who was a lay sheriff or a non-law enforcement person. There was 2 people, one a white man and one a black man, and I don't remember, sadly, the nicer of the two's name. But I do know that Mr. Rogers, the white mailman, was often somewhat snippy, and openly I felt often that my mail did not come. At the same time, some monster in the world tried to forward my legal mail to the jail as if the jail was now my residence. That vile act of federal offense should be known by whoever forwarded my mail from the post office. The post office box that I had and was contained there was gifted to me by the local township, who paid for it. They wanted to keep a key to my mailbox, which was illegal and federally immoral. I had to really go at it with both the postmaster and that township office to tell them they had no lawful right to see my mail. I never got my W-9 or W-2 forms from a small part-time job that I did. Much of my mail went missing from the apartment complex that I lived at, and everything that I ordered through Amazon was almost manhandled by someone. I can tell the story of the locks one more time. I purchased a new doorknob for a room in someone's home. I tested it out on my internal household to make sure that it would assemble correctly, to make sure that it would lock. And then what I did was try my actual apartment key on the lock. And lo and behold, what I found was what I sensed in the box that came in the mail. That the box that came in the mail looked like it had been opened by someone. And what I found was my own external apartment key door would open the new lock I had just purchased through the Amazon system. The odds of that occurring are like very odd and rare. What that means is some maintenance bastard opened my mail and replaced it with an internal core for the apartment complex so they could get through any door. The problem was, if I had been asked by my girlfriend to use my key to prove that my key couldn't open the door, I would have been put in the most humbling and humiliating of situations. When I talk about the truth of my experience, it is the truth of my experience. That I had an old computer in my house that my son used prior to me, and then all of a sudden it was returned back to a period of time that my father used the computer. We had deleted all those files a long time ago, and the only person with the key was one of my sisters, who had a key merely for emergencies, not for her pilfering of my property or the playing of any family member, birth otherwise, or a cousin or niece or nephew in my property in my home. I often found things moved around on my counters. I often found things stolen out of boxes that I was sorting through from my move, and I often found that paperwork, legal documents, bank records was being messed with and disorganized. So when I went to get help to seek a networking contact, it really turned into something else, and it became the hardest part of my life. Now, when I tell the truth of this story, other people will say, no, that's not true, and they will lie. They will steal me out of my life. Every person who thinks they've got rights to another human being's life needs to really consider whether Jesus Christ himself would truly allow that. If they have no faith, if they don't believe in an afterlife, that's really on them. But when you've had experiences that only Jesus could put forward, then you start to believe more in him and less in them. Long ago, I did a really good audio cast on more him, less them, but someone monstrously edited it. You see, I write my scripts and I match it online. There's always some shitbag from a company that wants to come out and monstrously listen, monstrously lie, and monstrously do things in their company uniform that do not belong in a person's life. In life, we have moments of time to speak the truth, and the truth is that people misrepresent themselves and their companies every single day. They don't think of their legal liabilities. They don't think of the lethal liabilities of going after someone who is already dealing with a lot of trouble in the first place. They can put themselves in the wrong side of the law, the wrong side of the person, or the wrong side of the people that are doing the damage. You see, you never know who someone is, and you don't know until you watch them behave. The people who are prosperous know how to perform a job without getting personal. The people who are difficult, the people that are monstrous, always play a game. Like, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that, and I'm going to take power from a total stranger because I feel like it. Well, guess what? You're in an hourly wage job with no retirement, and you're going to work until you die. Congratulations. You did a good job leading your life. Now, if I say that, it sounds like I'm a harsh man. It sounds like I'm a difficult pastor. It sounds like I'm a shithead of people. I'm not. I understand the laws of the way the world works. That if you have a gift or skill, you have to utilize it to the best of your ability to promote yourself into a life and a way of living that pays for your life, pays for your wife, pays for your children, pays for your future, pays for your retirement, and pays for your illnesses when you grow old. How does that sound? Is that not practical, realistic, and totally logical? It is 100% so. I have met women who made a poor decision in their first marriage only to make a financial decision in their second marriage. But what they found over the course of time is that the second marriage they chose for finances alone didn't really work out the way they wanted it to. They don't really enjoy the intimacy that they have, and they're often seeking attention from other people and other men. It's sort of immoral. They made a poor choice. They didn't allow themselves to heal from the previous problem marriage. They didn't give themselves the truth in front of other people. They ruined lives with their gossip and inappropriate commentary and immature behavior, and then they're stuck in their age without a husband to help them with their children. In life, we have moments of time to speak the truth of the world. And when a person comes into a shop and experiences something, they decide whether they're going to put their money back into the shop a second time. Whether it's food, whether it's service, it doesn't matter. How a customer and consumer feels when they enter and leave a place impacts their future in that withholding. What I learned when I worked for a short time in retail, selling pants of all things for a major player in the sort of outdoor living world, was that people of the richest caliber and the greatest finances often don't look at all as if they have any money at all. And those are the people that will come in once or twice a year and drop thousands of dollars in money, in your products or in your services. And what they will buy and how much they will buy will be totally related to how the employees of that firm interact with them. If they listen to them, if they encourage them, if they create a relationship with them, and they feel it is truly sincere, they will spend money that is dear to them. They will also appreciate being led to different parts of the store with the same person. It feels safe for them instead of being passed off to different people in different areas. That is a mistake that some companies make. In life, we have moments of time to prove who we are in the house of the Lord, but to prove who we are in our company job. If we're not feeling we're making enough wages, then it is our job to pursue another company or to figure out why we're not going up the totem pole in opportunity. It might be because people are complaining about us outside of what we see. It might be that people are reporting about our stupid behavior without ever knowing who said it. But then there are people who monstrously pay attention to people they shouldn't pay attention to at all. And that is right. They think in their mind, I am mighty, I am working, I am in charge. I am large and I am in charge. You're not really. You're in a retail job making $10 possibly an hour, and you have no retirement. Salary jobs pay a retirement, have a 401k, and you can still make the $10 to $12 an hour at a manufacturing company, but get benefits, health insurance, and other things. You see, it's not really a matter of I can't do it, it's a matter of making time to go make the shift. It doesn't mean we don't need good, employable people in our food industry, but we have failed to treat people with dignity and regard there. We have people that don't value how important that job is. The two most important jobs on the planet before others are, quite frankly, farmers and people who feed us. Those are the most important retail jobs. So when the politicians tout how educators and teachers are important, it is true they are. It is true they are somewhat underpaid. It is true they're expected to do all sorts of stuff in their prep time when they barely have enough time to get it all done. And it is true that they work 40 to 80 hours a week just to try and put lessons together. I know this from being one. But the truth is, outside of the realm of public school, in the private sector, we can produce a life in less than 20 hours a week that pays for a life of 3 adults easily. I also know how to put together programs that create customers for life, customers for 6 to 7 years, which means that my life is stabilized. Now, in your life, you have gifts from the Lord. What are they? Figure that out and learn to sell those gifts and those skills, and your life will shift, your life will change. But if you sit outside your employer and you curse and you carry on and you do stupid things, you will never be picked out of that office, you'll never be picked out of that shop, you'll never be taken from that retail restaurant establishment by someone who sees potential. You see, people who know people, who do good things for people, look for other people with potential to train, to encourage, and to build up and raise up. And when you don't listen to God, when you play around, when you think your job is a joke, but you like the paycheck because it pays for your bills, congratulations. But your life will still stifle, and you'll still be doing those jobs on your feet all day long when you're 60, 70, 80 years old. Or you'll be living off other people's assets, meaning your children's difficult life. In life, we have moments of time to tell the truth about the way the world works, and the truth is that people who get along with people and lead people with integrity make the most money in the world to a point. Shitheads are often left in charge of retail stores, absolutely. They get there because they do know how to make a sale. They get there because they make quota, meaning the amount of sales that are expected for some restaurant or some place to do it. But it doesn't mean they do it well, and it doesn't mean they do it always honestly. But if you're trying to produce a life that the Lord will bless tenfold, then you have to learn to love on people, raise them up, build them up, and learn how to spell your own situation out. Your situation is your situation. Someone else's situation is their situation. Don't walk into a total stranger's situation and think you're going to monstrously, matronly interfere or help in some way when you've never asked permission. What would you feel if someone walked into your life and started directing you in your life, or started influencing your life with total strangers that you didn't want anywhere near your life, or with family who are really supposed to stay out of your life? You see, there's always some moron in a church who think, I'll just call their parent or I'll just call their sister and we'll just make this all go away. Bullshit. You don't have the right to interfere in someone's relationships. The life of a man is the life of a man. And when he makes a decision, he makes a decision. And when God shows him something every single day, like the initials of the woman he loves, that's a pretty large sign. The problem may be that she is not mature enough to get it, or she may be outside of God's keeping, or she may not be working her way back to the Lord's house. In life, we have moments of time to speak the truth of what is real in this world. And the two things that are real in this world is that you need an income to have a life, and you need to have someone as a loving partner to encourage you and to help you to go as high up as you can possibly go in your career, in your profession, in your business, in your network marketing group, whatever, so that your life, your family, your children, you will have everything you need late in the aging, staging areas of your life. The problem we have today are people do not protect their bodies as a temple of the Lord. The other problem we have is that we don't have people who listen well enough to the people who really know how to make a life, because they just presume they can't at the moment because of some dereliction of duty, some vice, some something. No, we don't make a choice to stay in poverty. Other people interfere with every step of the way we try to get out of poverty, and that is immoral. It's federally illegal. And when I talk about these things, I talk about them from first-hand experiences of siblings destroying my records across the world. And I don't have to like them any more than I would like a total stranger who did the same thing. In life, we have moments of time to speak the truth of God. And the truth of God is, God never said go ruin a life for somebody. God never said go play God in someone's life. God never said go lord over someone's wife or give them strife. And when you do that, you create your own hell on earth, and I guarantee you end up in hell and the afterlife. When I preach, when I teach, I talk about real things. I could listen to you, tell you what your greatest skills are, tell you how to market it, and you probably do well if you followed a good percentage of what I share and then did a lot of praying for the Lord to help you with the rest. In life, we have moments of time to speak the truth, and when we hang outside and don't do our job, people get tired of being taken advantage of. They get tired of being stolen from, they get tired of being lied to, and you are representing not only you, but your crew. And your crew may be your family, it may be your employer, it may be your company, it may be your colleagues, it may be your future, it could be anything at all. But in life, we have moments of time to prove who we are in the house of God, because eventually we all return to that space in heaven. The only question is, where will we be residing? Will we be residing in the castle of Jesus and the Lord Most High, or will we be residing in chains and gnashing of teeth in hell, as we're often taught in Sunday school? I don't believe it's that dark, but I do believe it is an absence of an experience with Lord Jesus and the afterlife. In life, we have moments of time to speak the truth, and the truth is, you are in control of your life to a point. But if enough people interfere with your life, it can destroy a life. And some people just get off on the game of it. And that illness in them is going to ruin them in the end. Thanks for listening.